Notice that. You always
So is bankruptcy or a charge-off worse on the credit report? I'm here to give you perspective.
Right.
So let's talk about a charge-off first. So a charge-off is technically an accounting term. It has to be, it's used through the IRS tax code, right? A business has to account for why they did not receive that money and recoup it after a certain specific amount of time in order for them to not pay taxes on it. Now, I know we've been talking about 1099-Cs, which are optional. However, you can get a 1099-C for it. But just know that if the debt is considered charged off, listen, that debt is still owed, and that debt can go into collections, and now your credit report can get worse because it goes from a charge-off. So now you got another account reporting on your credit report as a collection. So just to give you background, that's what it looks like to have a charge-off. Again, the debt is still owed. A 1099-C is optional from the company, but you can get it. Now let's talk about filing for bankruptcy. When you file for bankruptcy, you're either going to do a Chapter 13, which means that you are paying the debt over time, or you want to do a Chapter 7, right? Which means that the debt will be discharged. Typically, when you file for bankruptcy, the accounts that are on your reporting on your credit report are accounts that you finance. So those accounts are going to be included in that bankruptcy. So not only will you end up having a bankruptcy reporting on your credit report, but the accounts that are included in that bankruptcy will also be reporting on your credit report as derogatory accounts. So let's compare the two. You can possibly do a bankruptcy and you can discharge the debt. However, you have a bankruptcy reporting on your credit report, and then you also have multiple accounts that were included on the bankruptcy reporting on your credit report that you have to try to get off. So hypothetically speaking, maybe you have one bankruptcy, but then you have 5 accounts that are included in the bankruptcy. Now you have 6 derogatory accounts on your credit report, but you don't have to pay the debt back. And let's talk about the charge-off. You have charged-off debt, but you still owe the debt. The debt can go into collections. So now not only do you have one account charged off debt, you still owe it. But now you could possibly have 2 negative accounts because they still have the right to sell that debt to collections. But there's a possibility that you get a 1099-C. Which one is better to you?